So the first thing you need to do is to fold your fabric into two, and I have two pieces here folded into two. That's 4 folds, because we're cutting both the front and the back together. Okay, so just fold your fabric into two this way. Then first measurement I want to take is my neck measurement. The neck width I'm using is 3.5 inches, and the neck depth for my front is 3 inches. So I'm using 3.5 by 3 inches, and then I'm using 3.5 by 2 inches for the back. So I'll just go ahead and connect it to a circle neckline. So the second measurement is my shoulder measure line. Just divide your shoulder by 2. You mark it there. Then from the point where the shoulder measurement stop, you are going to take how long you want your sleeve to be. Mine is 13 inches. So from that point where the sleeve stops, you are going to come down by 1.5 inches and then connect it back to the neck width. So from this point where your sleeve length stopped, just draw a straight line like this, just like I'm doing. Okay, so now from this shoulder slope, from this shoulder slope, now this shoulder slope, this point, you're going to measure from this point to how long you want your sleeve to be. Okay, just measure how wide you want your sleeve opening to be, and then extend the line if the line is not up to that point. Then from that point where your sleeve wideness stopped, you are going to mark your bust measurement, divide by 4. Your round bust measurement, divide by 4. That's your bust circumference, divide by 4. Then add extra 5 inches. I added extra 5 inches. You can add extra 4 inches or 3 inches depending on how big you want your bubu to be. Then you mark the same measurement at this point, that's hip point, and also on the hem side, and then just draw a straight line down to the hem side. Okay, from this point just take the line straight to the hemline. Then on this place, you're going to just curve it a little to make just something like an armhole. You can use your free hand or you can use your curve ruler to do that, just to curve it to get something like an armhole. Okay, and that's basically it. So before you do the cutting on this shoulder slope, you're just going to remove half an inch. Just remove half an inch for sewing. If you not remove this half inch after sewing it, your shoulder might be, it will be bent. Okay, just remove half an inch for stitching and then connect it back, and that's basically it. So before that, now to cut together your pocket, you're going to come down from that shoulder line, mark something like 18 inches or 17 inches. Then from the point, you're going to mark how wide you want the opening to be. 7 inches or 7.5 is okay. Just place your hand there and make sure it's up to the pocket size. Okay, just curve it. Just use your hand and just make a curve, just like a pocket. So when you're cutting, you're just going to follow that line. Then go ahead and cut it. When you get to this point, you're going to see what I'm doing. Just going to cut it just like this, and that's it. This method is actually very easy. You don't need to start cutting your pocket separate again, and that's just it, guys. It's very easy and very simple. So the next thing I want to cut is the facing for the front side. So go ahead and fold a fabric into two like this and place your front pattern this way. Just arrange it very well. Make sure that the folded side is this side. Okay, just use your pin and hold it this way so it doesn't shift. So after that, just trace it and cut out the neckline and the shoulder side, and then remove it. So after removing your pin, okay, you're just going to measure like 5 inches or 6 inches. When you're cutting your facing, just make sure it's big, so after sewing it, it will go down. This one is actually very small, so I'm just going to measure 4 inches all around. Okay, and then I'll just curve it this way and then cut it out. When you're cutting your facing, please remember to make it bigger, so after sewing it on the neck, your facing will be able to go down very well. And that just is very, so I'm just going to open this up, open it up this way. So this is for my back side and this is for my front side. So I'm just going to arrange it very well. So I'll start with the stitching. Now I'm going to, this front side is down. I'm going to place this back side on it this way. I'll arrange it very well to stitch the shoulder. But before then, you have to work on the neck first. So for the back, you can use your bias to turn the neckline, okay? Or you can just use the same material to turn it. Or even if you want, you can just fold it in twice, a little, and then stitch on it. For the front pattern, you know that that front side is having opening, okay? You have placed you can see what I did on this facing. You can see what I did. So I'm just going to explain. So now you're going to trace the center point of that neckline and also the center point of this facing. Okay, when you do that, just draw a line, straight line like this. You're going to come down by 4 inches or 5 inches, depending on how deep you want the opening to be. So from that straight line, you're going to measure 1 inch by this side. Just follow what I'm doing. It's very easy so that the opening will be straight and not bending, okay? You mark 1 inch by the left and 1 inch by the right, following that center line. So when you do that, you're just going to place your ruler this way, this curved ruler like this, the head. Remember, you will draw a line like this. You come down by 4. Me, I came down by 4 inches. You can actually come down by 5 inches, 6 inches, depend on how deep you want that opening to be, okay? But then draw a straight line there. So from that point, you're going to place it from that 1 inch point that you mark. Place it this way, that curved area, to meet this point here, and then curve it, okay? And you're going to do the same thing. This is where we're going to be stitching from. So you're going to do the same thing this way. From that 1 inch point that you marked, place it and curve it. So when you are done, you can use your free hand to do this. So if you get it, after you're done, from that 1 inch as well, place your ruler like this, straight line, and meet the point. And this side as well, place it and meet this point as well. So now when you are done doing this, you're going to sew through that curve one, not the straight one, okay? You're going to sew through this curve line. You're going to sew it through to this point, then turn it and sew again till this point. Then after that, you're going to cut it through this straight line. Remember, you're sewing just on the curved one and not on the straight one. So I'll go ahead and sew it. So guys, I'm done sewing through the curved line like I said. So now I'm going to use my ruler, my scissors, and cut from that straight point that I drew, that straight line. Cut it till it gets to this point. You just have to be careful not to cut on the thread, okay? So from this side as well, I'll cut through the straight line to meet the point as well. So just follow what I'm doing, cut it to this point and then remove it. You can see what I did. So after you're done, just notch it, give it a little notch here, then notch it a little, okay? Then after you're done notching it, now you're going to sew through this neckline using 1/4 inch. Just sew it like this. From this point, sew to the next side as well. So guys, I'm done sewing it. So I'll go ahead and notch this neckline as well, okay? Just notch it like this. And then you're going to flip this over to the wrong side. But before then, you're going to bring out this point, this pointed edge. You're going to bring it out like this. Make sure you bring it out very well. Then you flip it over. Now go ahead and iron it down with your hemming gum, or you can sew it. That's why I said when you're cutting your facing, you have to make it longer so that when you flip it to the wrong side, the facing will go down very well. Mine is actually very short. You can see where it stops. But I'll go ahead now and iron it. After the ironing, I'm going to place the front side like this. The right side will be facing up. Before then, you have to turn the back of your neckline with bias, or just fold it in twice and sew. So I'll place the back side on the front side, right side facing right side. So I'm just going to hold the two shoulders this way. So I'll sew with 1/4 inch. I'll do the same thing to this other side. So guys, I'm done ironing it. You can see what I have here. You can see how neat the neckline is looking. Just like I said, make sure you extend your facing so it will come down very well. My own is very short, and I've also joined the shoulders. So now I've gone ahead to also hem my sleeve line. Okay, so I'll just hold the two pieces together like this, and I'm going to sew using about 3/4 and an inch or 1 inch. Just sew it. So when you sew it and reach this pocket side, you are going to go through this way, sort of sewing straight. Okay, sew it round like this, and when you get to this point, you sew it down to the hemline. Just make sure you sew through this pocket and not straight. Okay, when you get to this point, you now sew down to the hem side. You do the same thing to this other side as well. So guys, the gown is ready, and this is how neat it's looking. You can see how neat the front is looking, both the side. This is the pocket. Okay, this is the easiest way to make your bubu gown. It's actually beginners friendly. So if you learned something on this video, please help me like this video. If you're a new subscriber, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, and see you next time when I post a new video.